Hi everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Smashing Skull Sessions. This week I'm bringing you a band who play their own unique blend of atmospheric black metal with some hardcore crust-punk undertones. The band are, I'll try and pronounce this correct now, is Dödsrit, and they have band members in both Amsterdam and in Sweden. So can I introduce you lads to Georg and Jelle, who we can't see, he's only on audio for the moment. We'll see how that goes, but I think he can see us. Am I right, Jelle?
Yeah, I sure can.
Yeah, happy days. So guys, you're very welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
And come here, congratulations on Mortal Coil. What an album.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Are you both happy with how it's going and how's it been received?
Yeah, definitely. I got to be honest, when we put out the record, I was a little bit nervous on how it was going to get received. Okay. Because it's our first output as a full band. Before, this, 2 albums before, were still released as a solo project from Christopher. But yeah, I think actually quite early after the release of Spirit Crusher, Christopher wanted to proceed the project as a full band. That's when we came in the picture, and me and Christopher wrote the newest record together. That's also why I can hear some slightly more newer influences in that record.
Yeah.
But so far we got really a lot of positive reactions, and also personally, I have to say everything turned out how we wanted it to turn out. So I'm more happy with it.
And Jelle, the same with you?
Yeah. Right after, I mean, we recorded it last year, September, I believe.
Okay. And
right after we were done recording it, or last year, the year before.
2 years ago.
Yeah. my perception of time is completely messed up with this whole Corona thing.
Yeah, similar.
But right after we were done recording, we were like, this album sounds pretty solid. Like, we were all very satisfied with how everything came together in the studio and stuff, and the reception was equally good. I would say, like,
the feedback has been unbelievably positive. I mean, you go through every review, like, I mean, it's you're on high scores everywhere. You know, I think I won't say it's something totally. It is unique in the sense that you've mixed a few genres, and you, as I said, you mix around with a bit of crust and punk, and obviously post-black being the main theme behind it. Am I right? I mean, was that the plan? Was it a post-black record, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but to be very honest, at least for me and Christopher, there were not that much post-black influences at all.
Okay.
I think some more modern records we're listening a lot during that time were Vanum, Ageless Fire, and Spectral Wounds, Infernal Decadence. And for the rest, yeah, I always had a weak spot for a lot of like old school heavy metal stuff like Judas Priest, but also some of the Japanese hardcore stuff that's already borderline heavy metal, like Death Side, for example. So that's where a lot of the twin guitar leads came in. But also some classic black metal, like, let's say, Dissection, for example.
Yeah.
It's not really classic, but it's definitely been a big influence for us. Maybe some of Wolves in the Throne Room. But really post-black, there's not really much influence from our side in it.
Okay.
But I guess what gives that post kind of sound is influences from post-rock bands like Godspeed Black Emperor and Luna.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely down to the atmosphere of it, isn't there? There's a lot of atmosphere in your album, I suppose, and that's probably what triggers this whole post vibe, maybe. I don't know, am I right? But I personally can hear an awful lot of 80s melodies. As we said, a lot of dual guitaring, a lot of that sort of Maiden-esque sound, you know. That's what makes it very interesting for me. Jelle, what do you think yourself? Well, I know you don't like classifying music really, like, but
I think the post aspect comes naturally. It's not for me and Georgios. It's not really our main thing. I know that Christopher is more into a lot of post bands, but it just kind of evolves in that way when you play such, like, they on the guitars they really create soundscapes in between the heavy parts. You have these raging blast beats and then beat parts, and then it just quiets down and you get these. They create soundscapes with the effects on the guitar.
I suppose that shredding tremolo guitar sound is is really what stands out to me. Like on this album, it's the melodies and the harmonies. It just hits up and down. It's incredible. Like it's really, really great stuff. The band name, lads. Before I go any further, where does it come from? Or is there a meaning to the word itself?
To be honest, that's a good question. Unfortunately, I don't know what the answer to that is. That's what Christopher knows. He came up with the band name, and I never really asked him about it. To be very honest, even about some of the lyrics of the previous albums, or even of this current album, we didn't really talk much about it. I wrote my lyrics; they have my own meaning. He wrote his part of the meaning of his. He wrote his part of his lyrics. He has no meaning to them. We only know we pretty much agreed on the concept, and from that point on, it was just like, yeah, you know what? We got 4 songs because we finished the music before we wrote the lyrics, and then from that point on, we were just like, let's just see what we're gonna write to this. How do you say? Let's just see what kind of emotion these songs are gonna bring up. And from that point on, we just started writing. And I don't know, since the lyrics are quite personal, I didn't really talk with Christopher about it. I'm a bit more open about this kind of stuff, also because I think it's important to take away the stigma on certain topics. Like whenever it's death or suicide or even substance abuse or self-mutilation or any of those things. I kind of think it's important to take the stigma away from those things, but
I totally agree with you. Yeah.
But also know some people don't really want to talk about it or anything, and I respect that as well. And I leave it for what it is. And also another thing with the lyrics, I kind of feel like everyone should have their own interpretation of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my own story, and everyone has their own story as well. So
does everybody have an input to the lyrics, or is this specifically yourself, George, and Christopher? Is it just the two of yourselves with the lyrics, or do you have any involvement in them?
No, I don't write any of the lyrics. I leave that to them. They mainly write most of the songs, and the structure and the riffs is their teamwork basically. Me and Brandon come in like at the very end of the bit when we're like assembling the songs, and
they're the cherry on the pie.
they make all the difference. Tell me, like that's like the success that you've had right with Mortal Coil so far. Like when you look at your Bandcamp page and stuff, do you see people going back to your older albums and purchasing? Is it a case of they hear Mortal Coil and they go through, I won't call it a back catalog, there's 2 albums there, but do they check them out?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, I'm actually pretty sure about it because I also see it with their other projects. For example, me and Jelle have another side project called Destructo, which is a bit more 80s black death thrash kind of worship. So just think about Bathory fornicating with Sarcophago, fornicating with Gism, and then you get Destructo basically. And we had, that's my alarm, sorry. But yeah, we had a lot of people actually buy that record or check out that record just because they knew, it's members of Dödsrit. So
yeah, exactly.
Let's see what we can expect.
And do you find Bandcamp a good platform to use? Or has Spotify done anything for you?
No, I mean, Spotify...
it's nice to see the streams, like the numbers.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's nah.
It's convenient
it's good for promo
people,
in playlists and that kind of stuff.
That's what it's for, exactly. Yeah, I spoke to one of the lads from Monosphere, and he said the same thing. Really, it's sort of necessary evil as such, isn't it? You feel the need to have to use it, but it's criminal. It's fucking criminal what's going on there. Yeah,
it's good for the accessibility, you know. Yeah, and other than that, I mean, it doesn't benefit any artist in any way.
No,
definitely not.
Yeah,
I mean. It's that's the only thing. It's convenient, but the whole business also, it's pretty fucked up. So
it's fucked up. Yeah, it is. We move away from so before it gets us all in bad form, really. Tell me, lads, like the background to the band. I mean, how did you come together? As I said, George, to you earlier, I was under the assumption there was 2 of you guys from Sweden and 2 from Amsterdam, but that's not the case. Am I right?
No, that's not the case. Actually, 3 from us are from the Netherlands, and Christopher's from Sweden. It came together. It's quite a funny story. I'm gonna try to wrap it up.
No, you're fine. Loads of time.
Yeah. Well, I've known Christopher for quite some time. I think for 8 years now. Okay. I knew him from his old band, Totem Skin. I don't know how I came across this band, but I remember when I came across it, I really loved everything about the band.
Mm-hmm.
They were really playing this mixture of old school emo violence like Page 99 and Majority Rule, with also a lot of like more modern crust like His Hero Is Gone, From Ashes Rise, but also some of the classics like Wolf Brigade.
Yeah.
But it also had some kind of like grindcore and death metal vibe to it, like let's say Entombed. Or like some Rotten Sound, and yeah, just the whole combination of all those genres together. They executed it so perfectly.
Yeah.
And I remember I just sent them a message like, "Holy shit, guys! Like, I came across your band and I've fallen in love with it. I'm not sure if you guys are touring anytime soon, but I would love to host a show for you guys in Amsterdam because I used to host shows in Amsterdam for quite some time. And yeah, then they told me they were on tour. I booked a show for them. And funny enough, not much later, I decided also to start a tape label, which is Wolves of Hades. And actually, Totem Skin was my very first release.
Oh, wow. Brilliant.
Yeah, but the show in Amsterdam, I would always, when I would book the shows for them, because I think I booked 3 or 4 shows for them, I would always play together with my other band. And we would always really have a great time together. We really... we really got a friendship through it, and I think at some point, unfortunately, Totem Skin broke up, and me and Christopher were still in touch with each other. And I think at some point, I actually asked him. The thing was, how do I say again? Yeah, so a friend of mine, he was supposed to play at the Roadburn Festival, and he was telling me that he was in touch with the organization. He was like, do you think you could maybe do something with one of your bands that might be fitting for Roadburn? And then I was thinking, like, I have a friend from Sweden that has a really cool project, which is Dödsrit, because I think by that time he released his second record, which was Spirit Crusher. Yeah. And I just asked Christopher, like, hey, man, we've been wanting to do some music together for some time and everything. A friend of mine might be able to get us on Roadburn. Would you maybe be down to play with my band, Nuclear Devastation? And then we just do a one-off set list under the name of Dödsrit, just for Roadburn Festival. Because I thought he was not interested in playing live anymore because, when the band broke up, he was kind of done with touring and all that stuff, and he actually only wanted to keep it as a studio project.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, you know what? It would be really fun to do it. But then in the end, it actually fell through, and shit happens. And I was like, it fell through. Maybe we can look for another year. And then he told me, like, you know what, I've been thinking about it, and actually I would really love to do this as a band again. So would you be into doing it together? And my first reaction was like, dude, you live in fucking Sweden. How do you want to make this work?
How does this work? Like, yeah.
And then he told me, like, can you get a band together in Amsterdam? And I was like, well, I could. Yeah. Then the very first person I actually asked to join the band was Jelle, because we've been playing together now for almost 11 years in different bands. Yeah. And then on drums, I actually asked around to some friends of mine, like, hey, do you guys know a drummer that might be fitting? And then I got forwarded by my friend Avio to Brandon. And he liked the music. We all got together. We did some rehearsals, and the chemistry was there straight away. And then we were like, you know what? Let's just do a tour as well. And if we don't hate each other after the tour, then I guess we're a band for sure.
There you go. And like, how did Christopher travel to Amsterdam to meet you and session with you and gig, or to jam with you, or was it all done online? And how did it work? One man away from the rest.
I mean, before he actually just told us what the set list was. I learned all the songs by ear, or if I didn't know how to play it, I would ask him. Then I learned the songs to Jelle. Brandon, he just listened to the songs, he knows what to drum. And then we got together, I think, in December of 2018. With us already knowing all the songs, we just jammed, and the chemistry was there. And I think we did our first show in March of 2019. And our first tour was in August of that same year. And that's how it worked. And for the writing process of Mortal Coil, if that's what you were wondering. I had just some riffs in mind, and Christopher as well. We were just like making videos and sending them back and forth because, of course, he's living in Sweden, I'm living in Amsterdam. And a few times we actually did like Skype calls with each other where we would show each other riffs and try to build something together.
Yeah.
And in the end, the funny thing is, like, me and Christopher always have a lot of ideas for riffs. Like, writing riffs is something that goes off pretty well for us. But the thing that makes it hard is when you need to put them together. You know, it's like a puzzle. You have all these different pieces, and you need to know how to put them together to make it flow like a story, basically. You know.
Yeah. So how do you like? Again, you knuckle down and get the riffs out there. But how do you do the vocals? I know there's two of you share the vocal duties. Am I right? Yourself and Christopher again. Yeah. How did you decide? Is it basically what you wrote lyrically, you sang, and vice versa?
Not even. No? I think it was really decided on the spot in the studio. We had the lyrics, and and Christopher was just like, can you sing on this part? Can you sing on that part? Or I was like, oh, should I do that part? And would you do that one? We pretty much decided that on the spot. So, yeah.
And again, like, was there anyone else willing to stand up and do some vocals? Jelle, were you interested in doing any vocals? Or have you done before?
I do vocals in our other band, Destructo.
Okay.
But at the time I didn't really have much experience with doing vocals yet.
And what style would your own vocal be? Yeah.
My style.
Do we call it a style? Is it?
I mean, in Destructo, it's really much of a barking.
Okay.
And
a snarling demon on amphetamines. That's what it is.
With a huge amount of reverb and distortion.
Great stuff, lads. I mean, again, I honestly, I couldn't tell the difference between you on the album who does the vocals, because I think your vocal range and your vocal delivery is very similar. Would you think the same?
No,
I mean,
actually,
personally, I think Christopher has very characteristic vocals. Like he has that sort of hardcore-ish scream almost, but like what George said earlier, like sort of old school emo violence.
Really
yeah, and George's voice is a lot deeper. It's
okay. They blend well together, and you do sound great together. In fairness, like the artwork on the album, lads, on Mortal Coil. Is it a friend of yours, or how did you come across it, or how did you decide?
So of course, I always think one of the most important things of the album is not only the music but also the artwork. So we really brainstormed on who to ask to do the artwork, and there was one artist whose artwork I've been fallen in love with for years, which is Artem Grigoriev. And normally he does a bit more, like his style really reminds me a lot of Gustave Doré. But normally he doesn't really do any forests or landscapes or any of that. But I thought it might be a cool challenge to ask him to make that. And that's pretty much what we did. And I have to say we're really happy with the delivery of it.
So you just gave him the concept of what you wanted, is it? And he basically designed it?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was all a bit fake. I just explained him what the album represented for us.
Okay.
I sent him the demos of the songs. Then he told me a bit what his vision was. And then he just started drawing. And a few months forward, we received the artwork, basically.
Okay, stuff. Before we go on to any more steps, or before we walk away or move away from Mortal Coil, lads, I just want to play a track for everybody else who's listening. This is from Mortal Coil. I'll give you a taster of what Dödsrit are all about. you go, everybody. That's a taste of Dödsrit, and that's the song called Shallow Grave from the album Mortal Coil. Honestly, lads, I can't promote this album enough. It's been on constant spin in my house and for quite a long time. As you can see from behind me here, the album's on display. And again, I'd actually just show it for those who need to see it. And again, we might get a chance to see the artwork, which is incredible. Like, I mean, as you said, it does depict what the music's all about, doesn't it?
Yeah, I really think so.
Yeah, great stuff. Now, tell me that, Jelle, your influences musically, what do you listen to yourself when you're not involved in your bands?
Ooh, lots of underground things mostly.
Okay.
I come really from like old school heavy metal, thrash, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So would you go back to the old school stuff? Do you go back to your 80s and 90s music? Or do you listen to more current bands playing that style of music?
I do a bit of a mix. It depends a bit on how I feel on the day. Like I switch between, listening to Jesus Priest or Motorhead, or some days I'm only listening to Icelandic black metal. That it's
very varied, yeah. and there's complete extremes there. Yeah. What about yourself, George? What influenced you firstly to play music, and what do you currently listen to?
Oh, that's actually a really good question. I mean, yeah, for me, what really started for me this journey mostly with music has been thrash metal.
Yeah.
That's also how me and Jelle got to know each other, because we're both thrashers when we were teenagers.
Yeah.
So we both were big fans of Exodus, but also some of the newer bands like Violator from Brazil, but also Sepultura. And for me, what I really loved about thrash was that it was really a borderline between metal and punk, basically. And I was really heavily into a lot of hardcore punk, especially crust. And the Scandinavian and Japanese bands, so Mob 47, Anti-Stemex, Framtid, Totalitaire, but also, like I mentioned maybe before, Gism, Deathside, Kuro, you name it. And yeah, I mean, I guess the more older I got, the more newer stuff I started checking out. For me, also with black metal was kind of funny. My first introduction to black metal was stuff like Dimmu Borgir, and I fucking hated it. I still really, really fucking hate a lot of symphonic black metal.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah, but when I heard Celtic Frost, Bathory, Hellhammer, for me it sounded just like GBH and Discharge, but way more evil. But even Blasphemy, it sounded like a super evil version of Napalm Death. So I was really hooked into it, and then I guess after some time I started getting into some more second wave-ish kind of bands. And before I knew it, here I am.
Here you are, doing it all yourself, in fairness, yeah. But again, like, it just shows, doesn't it? I mean, the influences you have had, they do echo through your music. Like, as I said to you earlier, I can still hear that. I can hear 80s trash across your music, especially, I think, in the melodies and the hooks that are in there. And I know I mentioned post-black metal. I know you're not, I don't mean to label you with that.
No, I mean,
but I think there's so much to hear in your music. I mean, there's so many influences. You can't hear them all,
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, like, I do know some people compared us to Death Heaven, for example, some of those acts, but I never really had much interest in them. But when it came down to like post-metal or post-rock, I really loved a lot of the old work from ISIS. Of course, also Godspeed You Black Emperor. I think it's been one of the best live shows I've ever seen. But also some of the sludge classics like Neurosis. I can really find myself in those bands. And especially, I know Cult of Luna is one of Christopher's favorite all-time bands. So, but there's also been some slightly more, unexpected influences for me personally. For example, during the writing of Mortal Coil, I was listening a lot to Have a Nice Life and Giles Corey, but also to Elliott Smith, for example, which is a bit more singer-songwriter. But the thing with their music is there's a certain melancholy, but also downbringing gloom to that music. That
Yeah, I like a lot of singer-songwriters too. I think their music can be dark in its own way, like, you know. It doesn't have to be.
exactly.
It doesn't have to be heavy and aggressive to be dark, like, you know.
Yeah, and also my all-time favorite band, which is actually not a metal band, but it's Pick Me Lush. It's this one band with members from Page 99, which, yeah, Page 99, that band was actually also one of the reasons me and Christopher became such good friends, because it's our mutual love for emo violence, basically. It was really funny because in that time I remember all my bandmates would make fun of me for loving a lot of the emo violence stuff like Page 99. But in the end, yeah, this is what got me and Christopher together with music. So
it all worked out in the end, didn't it?
It all worked out in the end.
Absolutely, yeah. What about, we've granted a bit of touring, if you don't mind, lads.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy touring? Do you enjoy playing gigs, or are you sort of inclined to enjoy studio work more, or is that a fucking chore?
I love them both in their own way, but I can definitely say now with everything what's going on, I really, really miss touring.
Yeah.
Also, I got to be honest, before the pandemic, I was used to just be on tour pretty much the whole year.
Yeah, sure. When I meet the other bands
if I would not be playing with my own bands, I would be seeing shows, or I would be going with friends of mine that were touring themselves.
Okay.
Or we would go to festivals, you know. We were always on the road, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, anything to add to that?
Yeah, playing live shows is pretty essential for us, for me at least as well, and just getting rid of energy and you know,
it's the outlet to burn off that building up of angst. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I can
breaking down
that.
your normal work week and just like throwing it all out on stage and
exactly. And I suppose like you have to do it as well, like from a financial point of view, lads. Am I right? I mean, there's only so much money you can make, I suppose, from selling records, but you do need to be out there gigging, don't you, to somehow survive?
I got to be very honest to you. We're not really making money with the band.
I suppose making money is the wrong comment. I suppose to survive would be more the point, and to get the money to make your next album.
I always say it's nice to travel for free. You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely
I never really expected like financial gain out of playing gigs.
I mean, we all have our own jobs and everything, and you know, like it would be of course nice to be able to just tour as much as we can, because for me it's not about the money, but definitely about being able to see the world, play shows, and more importantly get to see a lot of bands that that you know that we don't know yet but might end up falling in love with. For example, with this tour we're going to do in April, we're going to play one show in Prague, and the band that's going to open up for that show is called Smyrna, if I pronounce it right, and it's this medieval kind of black metal. And when I've heard their EP, because I'm like, okay, cool, we're playing with some bands, let me check them out. I've heard their EP and I was like, holy fucking shit, this is fucking amazing. And I also wrote the guys like straight away, like, I really cannot wait to play with you guys. Like,
there you go. I know it's not really about making money. I suppose that was the wrong comment to use, like, but I suppose one show pays for the next show, like, and as you said, it gives you the opportunity to travel the world, like, and see places and see bands that you probably wouldn't do otherwise.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing that's at least nice is the band is self-sufficient because we do everything ourselves. We release the records ourselves. For Mortal Coil, I did the recording. Our friend Alexander, who also did the previous records, did the mixing. But also shipping out all the records and pressing all the records, printing all the merchandise. We do everything ourselves. So it's kind of nice that we can be self-sufficient in that sense. Yeah,
I think people don't realize the work that's involved in it. You know, there's one thing about playing in a band, but as you said, like getting money together to get it recorded, to get it out there, to actually go through the mundane jobs of shipping out records on a daily, weekly basis. Like, I mean, and hold down a full-time job. It's pretty fucking mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely pretty fucking mad. I mean, it's kind of funny because as of right now, I'm already like preparing some CDs to get produced for the label. I'm also now preparing all the merchandise to get pressed or printed, for the tour. Then also I need to communicate with some bookers some things. Then also I need to answer some other emails, and I also need to finish some edits for some other projects. And I'm busy all the fucking time, and at some point I'm really really asking myself, like, am I going insane or what the fuck? But then in the end, I kind of realized also I'm a bit of a workaholic, so I also embrace this. So
Yeah, I got that impression. Yeah. What about yourself, Jelle? Are you hands-on involved in any of the work with the band, as in shipping out stuff and getting ready for gigs and traveling and all that?
No, like the label side of things, I leave it to Georgios since he runs the label, and it's he's a professional music seller.
Professional.
So I just work. I just have a normal job in a warehouse on the side.
But it's a full-time job, Jelle, I take it.
Yeah,
40, 50 hours a week, like.
Yeah, 40 hours a week, and on the side,
And tell me, lads,
gathering gear and rehearsing.
Yeah,
you're
buying
the
basses and
you're the
amps.
muscle, so Jelle, you're the muscle. Drag the gear around.
Yeah. Also,
What about when you have traveled and you have already gigged? I take it you've done a few gigs as Dödsrit, like, but what's the reception from a live show? Because, as I said, your music, like, even it's high energy, it's frantic at times, but again, it's almost trance-like at times as well. So have you mosh pits, or is it guys shoegazing, staring at the floor? And what's the reaction when you look out at the audience?
It's from what I can remember, it's really quite a weird mix, to be honest. Because when I look in the audience, we have this one side which is like the punks.
Yeah.
The other side, I would say, is more like the old school black metal guys.
Okay.
And then the other side is somewhere in the middle of the two of them. It's quite a diverse audience, to be honest.
Great. That's good.
I do remember from when we toured in 2019. 2019. Some of the shows, at some of the D-beat parts, people would actually start moshing, and I was like, "Are people moshing at a black metal show?" But they were like, "Oh yeah, wait, there's also punk in this," because I kind of see it as a black metal band, but at the same time, the punk influences are quite obvious. But then, of course, during the more doomy and sludgy parts, where it's like really the build-ups. Then I guess most people are a bit more calm and just getting in the trance, because that's definitely what happens with us when we're playing this music, especially during the slower parts. It's very minimalistic and repetitive. So usually I'm just shoegazing, and Christopher as well, and just really building up to that final moment, basically.
Jelle, anything to add to that?
Yeah, we try to always bring the energy on stage as well. Me and Georgios, I mean, we've been playing together for a very long time, and we know both like how much energy we can put on the stage, and we always try to be where Christopher's kind of the calm center. We are the storm on the side. That's like full
Whipping up a storm either side of him.
A lot of hair going around and stuff. But
definitely.
One thing I do remember is that everybody kept saying that we need to play longer. Because at the time of the tour, it was like, we're playing 4 songs. We have very long songs, but it was, so it would be like, half an hour, 40 minutes. But because it's only 4 songs, people see it as a short set.
They see it as 4 songs and not 40 minutes worth of it. Yeah, I get you.
But
and then you get people saying like, "Oh, we drove like for hours to see you guys," and I feel really bad. I'm like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry," but we don't know any more songs.
But what's actually the best? I remember when Christopher heard it for the first time, like, you should play longer. It's like, why would anyone want to see us way longer? Also, why would you want to see a band way longer in general? The best
I don't want to see a band longer than 30 minutes.
No, he even said like the best set I saw was 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, what? It's like, more bands should just play 15 minutes. I was like, Christopher, you're crazy.
He said he walked away after 30 minutes of watching his favorite band, Cult of Luna. He was like, they played for 1.5 hours, but I walked away after 30 minutes because that was enough.
But I suppose there is a limit though, isn't there? I mean, what do you think yourself? I mean, if you had the choice and you had the songs, like, how long would you like to play on stage for? Or even going to see a band, how long can you last?
I really get his point. And most of the times I don't like to see a band that plays much longer than half an hour either. Yeah. But with the length of our songs, I think we can do a little bit longer because time seems a lot shorter. The perception is really different when you have only 4 songs. So now we're going to play 5 songs upcoming tour. So I think that's better because you have
an extra 20 minutes
in the middle.
I mean, the funny thing is with the funny thing with the 5 songs is that it's still a set list of almost 50 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's only 5 songs,
exactly.
but But
I think that is really the limit, though.
I think so too. Yeah,
5 songs, 50 minutes is.
I think for me personally, the best is still 30 to 40 minutes. It really depends also per genre. For example, if it's a punk band or a very fast like total in your face fuck off black metal band like Catharsis or Enteos, I would love to see that for 30 minutes, but not longer than that.
Yeah,
but if it's
that's the beauty of a festival, though, isn't it?
1 hour is perfect.
Yeah. I mean, the beauty of a festival is you get only a 40-minute slot, roughly, thereabouts. And I think it keeps people's attention that they can watch a band for 40 minutes and have the hunger to watch another band and keep going all day. Because if you were to, as you said, if you were to sit through a Cult of Luna show for an hour and a half and then go see a band afterwards, the love isn't there.
You're done.
You're fucked.
Yeah, exactly. And also, to be honest, when I go to festivals, I rather just see the shorter bands, to say it that way. I mean, I've been going to Roadburn Festival for quite a while, and you would have certain sets of like 1 hour or 1.5 hour.
Yeah, that's
but
long.
usually I would only watch 20 minutes of those as well, and then go to the next band. You know.
But
if I go to a club show, it's different.
Yeah. And I suppose the music scene then in Amsterdam, obviously, like, because you're so heavily involved, George, in everything. Basically, what's the scene like in Amsterdam? Is it thriving? Is it in a good place? Even post-pandemic, you know, considering 2 years without any fucking live music was hard going. So
I gotta be honest, like
they kill it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, to be very honest, it's kind of funny. Amsterdam, for being such an international city, I kind of think the music scene around there is quite dead. While other places in the Netherlands have a very good scene. For example, Utrecht, which is in the center of the Netherlands, you have some pretty good black metal bands coming from there. For example, Terzijde Horde, which are also friends of us. You also have one band where I play bass in, Verwoed. But also in around the Gelderland area. Or actually, let me think, is it Gelderland? I'm not sure, but I think the Heresies Novio Magi circle, I think they're either from
Nijmegen.
Gelderland, Nijmegen, that kind of area. They have bands like Turia, Lubertas, Solar Temple, Fluisteraars, and those bands are really, really fucking good. And I guess also in the more recent years, there's been more of a focus on Dutch black metal as well. Yeah. Which is a good thing. But for Amsterdam,
for the size, it's very disappointing.
I got to be very honest with you. I think I don't know any black metal bands that are active from Amsterdam.
Really?
I know a lot of really good punk bands, but no black metal bands.
It's mad, isn't it? I mean, as you said, like it's you would think there'd be a tribe music scene in Amsterdam in all genres of music. I mean, so you have to travel out of Amsterdam to see bands yourselves. You can't.
Well, it's not really long. The Netherlands is so small. If I go to Utrecht, it's 30 minutes by train.
Sure, that's easy one. Yeah.
So we are used to like traveling to Utrecht or Tilburg or Eindhoven for gigs more. Yeah. Because the metal scene in Amsterdam is very disappointing. Also, because we like old school stuff. More in the south and the east, there's more being booked there. There's bands from Belgium coming over to Tilburg and Eindhoven and.
Belgium seems to have a good scene, doesn't it, at the moment? There seems to be a lot of...
They use a lot of young bands. Working really hard.
So can I ask you as well, lad, about Brendan Duffy? And you can just say the name. He sounds like my next door neighbour, you know? He obviously has Irish connections, am I right? Can you elaborate on that?
I think his dad is from Ireland, so he's half Irish.
Okay.
They have a place somewhere in Dundalk, I believe.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
And
will that somehow get you across the water over to Ireland? Is it something you could even see yourselves doing at some stage?
Yeah, that would be great to
would be great,
play
for
play a gig in Dublin or something. That
Yeah, like there's a great scene at the moment in Cork, where I'm from, which is the south of Ireland. There's a great metal scene at the moment. Thanks to Richie, actually, from the Metal Cell podcast, who's put some huge work into sort of showcasing it, and Dublin's the same. So I think, Haji, if you were to come over, I think there'd be plenty of people will be there to watch you,
Yeah. Also speaking about Ireland, isn't Alder of Plagues from Ireland actually?
They are, yeah.
They are, yeah.
Many bands from Ireland. We could spend the night talking about Irish bands here now, yeah. There's some great metal in Ireland at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, for me, for me, still the top two is going to be Alder of Plagues and Thin Lizzy, obviously.
Yeah, I was going to say Lizzie anyway, yeah. Can never have too much Lizzie, in fairness. What's your favourite Lizzie album, actually? Have you a favourite?
Ooh, that's a really tough one.
Live and Dangerous.
Yeah.
I think I have an album from them. It's a live album called Life. Now, I think it got slated because the recording wasn't great, but it sounds very real to me. It sounds harsh at times, but that's the way it should be. It wasn't overproduced. So that's one you should check out, George, I think.
I mean, I do know Live and Dangerous because I remember I was talking with a friend of mine from Hamburg, and he told me, like, name one album that's better than one live album that's better than Live and Dangerous. And I remember I got in a discussion with him because I said Live at Hammersmith from No Sleep Till Hammersmith from Motorhead. And he was like, oof, you're making it really tough for me. But honestly, yeah, I really don't know what to pick as a favorite album from Thin Lizzy. I mean, Jailbreak is really fucking good, but also the self-titled is really good, but it's hard to pick.
Yeah, a legend of a man. Legend.
And the last one, I like the last one as well.
Would you be a fan of Lizzie as well, Jelle? Yeah?
I am a huge fan, yeah. Very big Lizzie fan.
I'm assuming no one got to see them. Have you even seen Lizzie without Phil?
No,
nor have I, but I know they were touring for a while.
I heard that, they were booked on Grasspop, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would be interested in seeing them in that way.
No, it's not the same really, is it? No.
I mean, like Thin Lizzy without Phil, maybe, for me it's like Motorhead without Lemmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would just be weird.
Yeah, it just feels wrong, doesn't it? Yeah, that you don't witness the main man himself. Exactly. So can I ask you about a new album? Are you working on anything at the moment? Have you been in the studio recording? Have you stuff written, lyrics or music?
Yeah. Well, I've been sending around some ideas to Christopher, but to be honest, we've been so busy preparing for the tour in April and with some other stuff that I didn't really have the time to really focus on it yet.
Yeah.
We were recently in Sweden recording some stuff, but
we were in the studio last weekend, but not for recording new material.
Okay.
Some surprises that are gonna come up later.
Yeah.
What was that there, Jelle? Can you elaborate on that? There, some surprises. What are they? Can you share?
Some opportunities that came up, and in a few weeks there will be some things coming.
Okay,
I think
keep us in suspense. So yeah, thanks.
Yeah, big things are coming.
Big things are coming. Yeah, watch
like every local band ever said, big things are coming.
Watch this space.
Watch this space. Exactly. Yeah. So I suppose like it's all about touring. So this year, isn't it? 2022, making up for.
We hope so. I mean,
making up for the last time. Yeah, for most bands.
I mean, we haven't been able to really play these songs live yet, so that's also kind of weird. You released an album now, like more than half a year ago.
Yeah,
and still you have not really have the fulfillment of playing the songs live. So it's
something to look forward to for you as well as the people who go to the gigs. Like you said, you love playing live, lads. See, that's your thing.
We do.
Yeah,
I mean, we're going to be quite busy starting from March because we also have some shows with Destructo. And then also I think I have maybe 1 or 2 shows with Verwoed. And then also me and Jelle, we're going to be joining this project from a friend of us. And we also already got a show booked for that in December, I think. So yeah, at this point, I think Jelle is now playing in 4 bands. And I think I'm playing in 7 bands now.
Oh, wow. 7 bands and 4. Fuck it, lads.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Jelle, because you're, let me see, Dödsrit, Destructo, Einsof, and then with Deadless Void.
By all means, share the band names, lads.
Yeah.
Let's get them out there if you want to throw the
so.
names out. The dog is
we're
barking.
definitely going to be busy in the coming time.
Yeah. I suppose I just want to mention Wolves of Hades there as well, George, because we touched on this before we went live, because I myself didn't even realize you were the man and the brains behind it. How long has that been going on?
Oh, fucking hell. That's... I don't even know how long I've been going on with this.
10 years? Over 10 years now, right?
Oh, is it?
No, not over 10 years. I think maybe 8 years or something. Fuck, I really don't know. I think 9 years now. I think next year it's going to be 10 years, actually.
Yeah, close to 10 years.
Close to 10, yeah. But yeah, I mean, before Wolves of Hades, I was already setting up shows and that kind of stuff. And at some point, I just wanted to put it under a banner, basically.
Put a name on it, exactly.
Yeah, and also more importantly, when we started out with Nuclear Devastation, we really had this DIY mentality that we didn't want to work with any labels.
Mm-hmm.
Also, to be very honest, I'm not going to put any names or anything, but I know quite some friends of mine that had some pretty horrible experiences with some bigger labels as well.
Yeah.
Which also was for me a reason like, fuck it, I'm going to do this differently.
You can do it yourself. Exactly.
Yeah, do it myself, but also release the music of my friends and give them, treat them the way I would like to be treated by a label,
There you go. You see, that's the difference,
Yeah, I mean, that's already what I'm seeing. For example, I'm releasing, not only with Wolves of Hades, but also our other label, Argento Records. I've been releasing the music of quite some of my friends. And, they've been getting, in the meanwhile, some other offers from other labels. And they were always telling me, like, yeah, man, honestly, it's much chiller that we can just have this more formal relationship together and that we can trust each other, you're not going to fuck me over, but I know some other label might try it.
Exactly.
I
mean, you've been there, you know what it's like, so you're the guy to trust, basically, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I've seen it with and I've also seen it with friends of mine that now they have a band or a one-man project that's been doing really well. And then some other labels are like trying to get them on board just because, they're seeing money signs, but that's kind of shitty. But luckily, I can say for sure, there are still a lot of labels that are definitely doing it for the passion.
That's
I mean, if I look, for example, at, let's say, Fun Records in Germany, or, I was called Tartarus Records in the Netherlands, which is also a DIY label. I know some of the people there personally, and I can definitely say they're really doing it for the passion,
Mm-hmm. It's all about the music.
And usually that's also how it starts out, It's like something to do out of passion, that sometimes it really grows into something bigger.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Jelle, anything to add there? I keep having to ask you that question because I can't see you and I can't see your reaction. So I'm sorry if I keep saying the same thing, but that's just to see what you reckon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not involved much in his label business, but I play in a lot of the bands that are released on it. But I support the whole, keep it underground, keep it
exactly
close to the bands as well. Have them let their say and their creative freedom to release the music as they see fit, and also the packaging that comes around it. Like we like to collect vinyls. We like our vinyls to look nice, have a good packaging, have a good print of the artwork and everything, and we value that a lot. So some labels will cut corners and that they want to just put it on flimsy cardboard and
it's nice to have control of those things, like, isn't it? It's nice to have a say.
And especially with vinyl, because I think people that are gonna buy a vinyl, they want to have the extra experience of the band. They want to have a little bit more than just a CD or a digital download. I mean, not to talk down on CDs, but it's you have the bigger artwork, the extra
it's nice
booklet.
It's nice to have the physical thing in your hand, isn't it? It makes a huge difference.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's also another reason why I started releasing vinyl, because one thing I really hated was seeing some labels cut corners, just to save a few extra bucks. And with other releases I do, I really try to, have the packaging in a way that I would like with my own records,
Yeah. Yeah.
So whenever it is doing a gatefold or putting an obby strip or doing a nice color of vinyl or just looking at the extra details on the artwork,
Yeah.
Also, next to doing audio, I do some graphic design in my free time. So
Of course you do. Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
There
for me, the details are important.
There was half an hour free in your day. You might as well do something with it. Exactly. Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah.
You're some man. Depressing plants. Have you any issues dealing with depressing plants, George, at the moment?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
It's a
a sore subject. A sore subject, I can imagine.
It's a very sensitive subject.
Yeah,
But in all seriousness, it's been a very difficult time especially for all the indie labels to get their music on vinyl now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that the average waiting time for some pressing plants is literally 12 months as of now.
It's crazy, isn't
I'm
it?
seeing now early 2023 for new releases coming on some labels. It's like, holy shit!
It's
release an
taking
album
forever.
Right now, I think I have 6 or 7 records right now in queue at the pressing plant, and actually I need to give them a call tomorrow because I still didn't receive the test pressings for Faceless Entity, which is this project of some friends of mine that I'm putting out. They're also on tour with us. And I kind of need the records for Roadburn and for the tour. And when I did a calculation with them, I was like, so am I going to get the stuff for April? And they're like, yeah, we think so. And right now I'm getting a bit nervous because I still didn't get a test press.
Yeah, I'm sick of opening my emails and seeing delays on records. I've been waiting fucking months for and it's pushed forward and pushed back, constantly.
No, also I'm going to make it even worse for you. When we sent Mortal Coil to the pressing plant, it was I think in November of 2020. The record was supposed to come out in May of 2021 or of 2020. Do I say it right? 2021.
21.
Yeah, 21. In the end, because of all the delays, the vinyl only got out in fucking August, I think.
That's right.
Just because it was the first bad luck after the other bad luck with that fucking release.
And looking back now, that wasn't the worst time frame when you consider what you're waiting for now.
It only got worse since then.
It's getting worse.
It only got worse since then. I was lucky because I remember when we opened the pre-orders, it sold out. The first pressing sold out quite fast. And I told already people because I made a calculation, and first I was supposed to receive the records in March. So I was like, you know what, just to have some safe time frame, I'll do the release in May. Then I'll get the records on time. If anything happens, I can still be on time with the release. So I really took everything in mind, and still everything went wrong. But I remember when we were facing the delays, I had to send out so many emails and updates to people just to go like, hey, you're getting your record, but please understand there is this fucking drama going on with the pressing plan. This and this happened, blah, blah. And luckily, most people were very understanding and told me, don't worry, we'll see the records. Just keep me posted. Or they would send me an email like, hey, I moved to a new address. Can you maybe change my address? Those kind of things. But I also had a few people that thought I was some Amazon fulfillment center and would, and literally would insult me. And then I was like, you know what? Here, I canceled your order. Go fuck yourself. I'm a DIY label. What the fuck are you expecting from me?
I know. You can't please everybody, George. Fuck's sake. You can't please everybody.
No, but luckily most people have been super supportive. Even with the vinyl, with all the delays, I had so many people that, that even because sometimes I would see people on forums or something, right? Like, hey, anyone knows what's happening with the Dödsrit LP? And people would communicate like, oh yeah, the label posted this statement, blah, blah, blah. Please understand. There's delays and, indie labels are fucked. Because right now it's very hip to press vinyl. I mean, I'm seeing vinyl from video games to movie soundtracks. More and more coming up. You already had them, but now it's really a big hype.
It has,
and of course, Adele, who decides to press 500,000 fucking records, or Taylor Swift, who presses the 45 RPM records, and then everyone who buys it is like, oh, why is a man singing on this record? Maybe you need to press the 45 RPM button, you fucking idiot.
All the issues they have, huh? Yeah. So I suppose to wrap it up there, lads, I have 3 questions I want to throw at you, and I'm going to let George go first, Jelle, because I gave him a little bit of a heads up before we came on. So The first question, lads, is if you could go into the studio and record any song from any band, any decade, it can be any time at all, what track would it be? So, George, what do you think? Have you even had time to think about it?
Well, the funny thing is, I had, and I really still have no answer for it. It's very difficult. I mean, at some point, I was really thinking like, okay, fuck, which song would it be? You know, let's say if it was not Dödsrit, then I think with one song that would have loved to have recorded with one of my bands would have been Orgasm from X Japan.
Okay.
Actually, we were considering covering it with Destructo at some point.
Very good.
But
might still happen. Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
All that's in. That's a good answer. I know I've given you very, very little time yet to have think about that, but throw me anything. What track? It doesn't have to be metal. It can be from any walk of life. Is there any track that you'd love to go into the studio and?
It would be like a re-recording of a track.
Exactly. A cover version, we call it even. Yeah.
I mean, same route as George's a bit. I think I would want to do the Hammer from Motorhead, also with my other band, Destructo.
Brilliant. Just because,
full speed, full speed ahead, and
just full adrenaline. Exactly.
Yeah, those the live footage of them playing the Hammer. I think it was on German TV. Is absolutely insane.
Yeah. The second question there for you, George, first. If you could go on stage with any band and play a gig, what's that?
Motorhead straight up. I
won't even finish the question.
Yeah, it's always Motorhead.
Yeah. Jelle, have you similar taste? If you could play
I would say the same, band. But I can't answer the same thing twice. So
it can be from any decade. You can go back to the 60s, 70s, whenever.
Oof.
There's too much of a choice, isn't there?
Yeah, there's so much choice. Depends with what band. If it was, like you said, if it was with Dödsrit, I would choose my band differently, I think, than with maybe, for example, our other project.
Yeah.
Because style-wise...
we leave you off the hook here, so I think that was too short notice to ask a question that huge. So as I have you, Jelle, give me a band to look out for this year, or an album to look out for that you can highly recommend. And self-promotion's okay. You can mention one of your own bands if you want.
Shout out to the homies.
Fuck.
I already know a few, actually.
Shout away, George.
You're releasing stuff, so that's easy.
No, I'm not gonna self-promote, but really the Nil Ultra Sylvam record.
Yeah,
that's really
cool. Who's that, George? Sorry,
Ultra Sylvam from Sweden.
Okay.
It's not out yet, right? No, they're putting out this new record.
It's gonna come
this year. I already heard, I think, 1 or 2 songs, and it was really, really good. But also their debut album, The Spearwound Salvation, hands down one of the best albums that I've heard in the past, definitely the past decade, actually.
Wow. Okay.
It's really straight up. It's really straight up aggressive black metal with still a melodic touch without being cheesy. The best way I can describe it is just Swedish black metal in its worst evil incarnation, basically.
I tell you should print that. That's I like how you describe. I like that description. That's a good description.
To bring it back to classic heavy metal, I would shout out Lucifer is coming out with a full-length album on High Roller Records, I think.
Perfect.
It's the guys from Vulture, their heavy metal side project.
Okay.
And it's just like A-tier songwriting, really good bass parts, really good twin leads, and heavy hooks. Yeah.
Nice.
Also, great. One more shout out, The Night Eternal. That fucking album.
Night Eternal was an amazing album as well. I think it came out end of last year somewhere.
Okay.
I think so.
Great stuff, guys. Come here, lads. thanks for taking the time out to chat to me. Truly appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for your voice. We can't see the face. You'll have to we put some kind of a picture up maybe in your place. We have a think about that. Maybe a Simpsons caricature or something crazy. But yeah, lads, I wish you all the best with Mortal Coil. As I said, I can't tell people any more than I already have how good it is, and I just wish you well on the tours this year. I hope I get to see somewhere down the line, whether I travel to ye or ye manage to get across the water to Ireland. But either way, the very best of luck, lads, and thanks for taking time out to talk to me and to be part of the Smashing Skull sessions. Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, thank you too.
Thanks for the kind words.
And everybody else, please go to their Bandcamp page and support the guys. Buy their merchandise. As I said, the album's behind me there. Again, I can't say enough about these guys. Go buy. So thanks again.